consider me a big shot. What up to Stevie, Mimi, Scrap, yo, I'm on my love and hip hop. Yes, so solid, it flows through my body. And if you got it, love, I'm told that's where God is. I'm Tyrone Biggins, whenever love is given to be pragmatic. I'm just an addict for your love, I gotta have it. How my problems disappear when love's connected. I never wanna take back an hour, minute, or second. What a blessing, love ain't proud, it ain't rude. Love, it rejoices in telling the truth. Love is so patient, kind, it doesn't envy. Love your friends, love your enemies. I hope this love sink in. Got love for my neighbor, agape phileo. Let me be more convincing. Maybe you can dive in and exegete or censor, dissect the scripture where Bishop we show love. Or if you a sinner, transgender like Bruce Jenner, well, Caitlyn, we show more love. Basic math, don't subtract, divide it. God can take one love, then add or multiply it. Don't wanna swear by it. I promise if you don't have love, your life will be full of the opposite. And that's a big mistake. You trying to demonstrate all love in sync like Justin Timberlake. And that's a big mistake. You trying to demonstrate all love in sync like Justin Timberlake. If it cost $1 million, or if it was free, I love you, you love me. Let's put love together, call it love scene. Love scene, love scene, love scene.
They cut me off. What's going on with that? But hey, once again, my friends, it's me, Brother Darryl McGriff, right here on Love Sync Ministries Love Sessions. And as we always say, we want your help. We want to monetize Facebook and YouTube. Why? Because I want to give that money away to you. So y'all help me do that by doing likes, sharing the videos, commenting, and all that good stuff. Y'all constantly do that on both platforms, but on YouTube, especially make sure that you do subscribe. So subscribe, make sure that you put yourself on public so that way I can see who subscribed. So when I give away that $100 for the 100 subscriber, you'll get that. And for those that's helping that person get there by subscribing, when I run the random generator, you're going to get $100, whatever number the random generator picks. So that's $100 for you and $100 for the 100th subscriber. Also, what I might do, since my birthday is on Monday, if you go ahead and subscribe between now and Monday, put it on public so I can see who you are. Hey, I'm just going to go ahead and give $50 to whoever it is that's signed up between now and my birthday. So y'all make sure y'all do that. And before I forget, our foundation of scriptures, 1 John 4:8, he that, let me get my lips together. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. And I just want y'all to hang y'all hat on that for a minute, because I know when I first got saved and was ministering and everything, hey, I was doing it all wrong. And one day God woke me up and said, the church is not showing my love. And that's why we came up with Love Sync Ministries. And that scripture is the foundation of scripture. If you're not following that, like I said, he that loveth not. So if you're not showing love, then you don't know God, because God is love. So in the meantime, between time, like I always say, like an old DJ, put your hands together for a new brother here, new to me, because everybody I bring on, I've been knowing for 20 years. This is the first time I'm bringing up somebody I just met. So you guys put your hands together for Mr. Carlos Vincent, photographer extraordinaire. What's up, sir?
What's up, Doc? How you doing, man?
Man, I can't complain. Still in the land of the living. I'm trying to make it to Monday to that big 6-0.
Dig that. Dig that. Happy upcoming birthday to you, G.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is, like I always do, start out with 5 questions. The latest ones I'm starting out with now, I'm kind of putting it in your territory. So what I want to know from you on the first questions, when did you first know that you liked or had a Infinity 4 photography?
I would say it was mid to late 80s. I had a niece who was a fashion model for Ebony Fashion Fair. she would come, or when the tour would come to Kansas, they would go to Kansas City, and I would see all these photographers that were shooting her. And I would get mad. I would get jealous because that's my niece, and I want to be able to shoot her. So I had my little hand like this, you know, my little hand camera. And I knew at that point, man, you know, photography is something that I want to do, you know, and if life allowed it, then it would happen. So
Right. I got you. So then what was your first camera that you started taking pictures with when you first started photography? But what was your first camera?
My first camera was a Canon, I think it was a Canon 20D. A young man here in Dallas actually gave me my first digital camera. His name is Craig Alexander, man. He was a photographer, and he said, man, I see something in you. You know, here's this camera. Take it and be great. And he was also a member of my church. And I just been on and running from there, man. So shout out to him.
Okay, so now see, that's new school. So since you're a photographer, what you know about that old school film, getting in the dark room and doing some developing there?
I know it drove me crazy when I was in high school taking that class, and that was the one that almost said, I don't want to do this, right? I don't think people understand that you know, that film photography takes a special kind of person, man. I mean, because that dark room, woo-wee, you know, so yeah, I forgot everything I knew about film, and I'm gonna leave it like that.
Oh man, that is too funny. Oh, that's too funny. Cause see, I remember I used to, when I was in high school, I used to hang out with the school photographer, man. That's back in the day where you had to get in there in the dark, pull that film out of there, you know, roll it through that reel, and then I could get all that. Oh man, it was crazy. Like you said, it wasn't no joke.
And
so what was the what was the first picture you ever took?
Oh man, the first picture I ever took was of my wife. When I got the camera, I took a picture of my wife, and at the time she loved it. She probably hates it now because now I'm like trying to shoot everything. So once I was gifted with that camera, man, the first picture I took was my wife, and after that, anything that got in my view. You know, if I was going to Walmart, I'm gonna have my camera. You know, if it was a can of Rotel, I was gonna shoot that. If it was a bird, I was gonna shoot that. Whatever it was, I was gonna shoot it to train my eye. But yeah, my first image was of my wife.
Okay. So then now, what was your first picture that got put in a publication?
My first picture that got put in a publication was a test shot that I did of a young model named Candace. She was from Arkansas. She lived here in Dallas. She's also a member of my church. She's a actress now in LA, and we got published in Vogue Italia. We was doing a shoot. She flew in from LA. We did a shoot, and she was sitting on this little table that I have, and I just kind of liked the pose, and I said, okay, well, let me get this test shot and see what it is, and I took the shot, and I liked it. That next day, Monday, I said, you know, let me try to submit this to this Vogue Italia, see what happens. And I submitted it. A few minutes later, they was like, you know, Vogue approved. So my first publication was in Vogue.
All right, good. So now, how long have you been doing photography now? So how many years you been at it?
Professionally, about 9 years, going on 10.
Okay. So now, why do you still have the passion for photography? What is it about it that just keeps you going for these 9 years and more?
For me, it's not about just taking a picture, right? It's about creating an image, capturing a moment, and being able to give back. I also teach, you know, posing and all the different things that come with photography is on a modeling aspect, right? And my drive is to be able to capture a moment in time, make somebody feel good, make somebody feel special. You know, you never know the kind of people that you're going to run into when you're shooting or capturing somebody. So for me, it's just the people that I deal with, you know, from in front of my lens and those who I work with on the back end, right? So that's my passion, that's my drive. So I just don't know anything else. This is it.
That's good. That's good to know. All right, so now it's time to get into the nitty gritty because this is Love Sessions, aka God Sessions. This home starts with him. So, you know, I like to ask everybody, when did you first get saved? But when did you really start taking that word serious? Talk to me.
I got saved as a kid, like most people. You know, my father was a deacon, my mother was a missionary, at Antioch Missionary Baptist Church in Topeka. So I got saved as a kid. But as a teenager, you know, my first pastor, Pastor Avery Royal, kind of really helped me understand what it meant to be saved, right? And then as life progressed, he got called back to Dallas. So I moved to Dallas in 91. Right, but I went back to Kansas, and then I moved back here permanently in 2005 to be with Pastor Royal, to get my life together, right? And that's when I said, okay, this is not about religion. This is about a spiritual connection with my Christ, right? So now as I'm older and I'm maturing, I'm understanding what it means to be saved, right? Pastor Royal eventually passed away. And then my father in ministry, Darren Johnson, who's a pastor now in Baltimore, Maryland, he really helped me, right? Get a grasp on being saved, get a grasp on doing ministry and what ministry looks like, and doing ministry outside of the box, and understanding what it meant to be more Christ-like, right? Understanding that you're going to have flaws, you're going to fall sometimes, but you got to press on. So I owe a lot of that to those two men, a lot of other pastors in my life who just showed me the path. But those two, Avery Royal, Darren Johnson, and my current pastor, Jeremy L. Jackson, those three, I should say, have just really opened up Christ to me, you know, as an adult. So, yeah.
All right, good. So now, were you married while you was going through this process, or did you get married later?
I was married going through this process. I met my wife, Tracy, when I moved here, fresh out of another divorce, right? I moved here, had no intentions on dating, had no intentions on being married. I just wanted to find my pastor and get my life together. I walked into the church and saw my wife. I was like, wait a minute, Jesus, hold up, man. I ain't come in for this. And Pastor Royal put us together on ministries. We both had a passion for youth, and we became best friends, man. And she's also a big part of my patience and my peace, right? And just slowing down and really trying to live Christ-like through all things that I do, right? So I can't take any credit without giving her credit as well. So.
Okay, all right, I like that. So then, now that you're walking this walk, now do you have kids?
Yeah.
How many?
I got kids. I have a total of 5. I have 4 biological. Then my wife, we have a son. Not my biological son, but he's my son, right? You know, I don't do all that. He's my son. And so we have 5 total. And then we have the other kids in the neighborhood, the kids went to school with. So I got a whole slew of them rascals running around, but 5 is what we claim.
Okay. So I got a whole group of questions for you. But okay, so now, as I like to ask, so now as a man that you know you got your walk together, and you know you're trying to do your best, and you're doing better than what you started out with, because you matured more in the word. So how do you feel that your maturity in the word has helped you as a man?
It is a matter of life and death for me, right? It's a matter of life and death for me, because it's not something that you can play with. You know, living this life of ministry and doing ministry and being a follower of Christ, you know, you're going to have people that shun you. You're going to have people that want to argue with you. I don't argue the word. I don't argue what you believe. I know what I believe, and I know what I have to deal with. So in my relationship with Christ, you know, my prayer is, God, you know, use me how you see fit, even if I don't understand it, right? So, and that's a part of my maturity in Christ. Is before I thought I had to do things a certain way at a certain time. But as I matured, I was able to say, I can't do anything, you know, so I'm going to just be here in Christ. You're going to have your way. And whatever it is you say do, I got to do it. Whether I understand it or not, I got to do it.
All right. And so now, in that same vein, now then, because you was with your wife through that process too. So now instead of the question of how did that make you a better man, how did that make you a better husband and in dealing with your wife?
Understanding my portion of being a husband compared to what we're taught by the word, right? Being a husband, you know, and being a provider, what that means biblically, right? Compared to what we're taught as a man. Because as young men, we're taught by our fathers and grandfathers and uncles, you got to get up, you got to go to work, you can't cry, you got to do this, you got to do that, right? And you got to be strong. But spiritually, you have to be spiritually strong. You got to understand, okay, this is my wife and I got to lead you, but I got to lead you according to Christ's word, right? Not according to what's a man, but what's a man of God, right? Also, being submissive to my wife will show her how to be submissive to me. A lesson that I learned from my pastor, Darren Johnson, and his wife, Sister Erica Johnson, was in order for this relationship between man and woman to work this way, both have to have a relationship here. So my wife has to be able to say, God, I trust you enough to know that even though my husband sounds crazy, what he's saying we have to do, I trust you enough to know that he's following you. And this is an assignment from you to him to lead us, right? So her trust and my trust is not necessarily just in each other. My trust is not just in her. Her trust is not just in me, but our trust is in him that he's going to provide and guide this.
All right, I got you. I like that. I like that. And I guess it's something I want to kind of add to that a little bit is because, again, like you said, if both of your relationships, and it always, like you said, back to, you know, God is love, and I always say, you know, you love God, love his word, and love yourself and build that relationship with God. So just like you said, as you build your relationship with God, she builds her relationship from God. And again, that's why it says the two shall become one, because you're part of the same spirit, and that's the spirit of God, which is AKA love. So
right.
Normally, if you do get something, just like how Joseph went to Mary, the angel went to Joseph and say, hey, Mary's about to have this baby, because again,
right, how
would it look when, like you said, if I go tell my wife something that she's not going to understand, it's going to be a fight against that. God doesn't want that confusion because he's not the author of confusion. So what God would do, he will also, just like that, send that angel to tell your wife, hey, your husband going to be telling you something. You're going to think it's crazy, but it's all of God. So when you do say something crazy, she's going to be like, I got you. I know. He already told me. Let's go. And y'all ready to rock and roll together. You know what I'm saying? So now my next thing is, because with kids, just like, you know, with me and my kids, my one child was basically raised how I was raised, whoopings, you do what I say, and all that kind of stuff. And then my other one was kind of somewhat in a religious state, somewhat in a spiritual state. So, you know, I had to ask for forgiveness for me not treating my kids in the love that I understand now. So with your walk, you got 4 kids here, you got another child here. How do you think your change and your progression and your maturity in the word deals with each one of those children or those set of children?
So with all my children, because what I want, my wife's biological child, he's the oldest. So I guess what I would say is I've raised my children to trust and believe in God, period. I've raised them to understand that their relationship with Christ may not look like my relationship with Christ, but they have to have a trusting and believing relationship with Christ, right? And as they get older and mature, if they decide that, hey, I want to explore some other religion or something, then I have to be okay with that, because I've already prayed and said, God, whatever it is you're going to do with them in their life, you know, cover them, protect them, you know, because the word is the truth, right? And the truth is going to speak truth to truth. So they see me, especially Daryl, sees me loving his mother the way I say and the way I preach and the way it's been preached to me, right? Unconditional love, right? He sees that. He doesn't see me doing things that I would want him to do, would want him not to do. He doesn't see me going out to clubs, doesn't see me staying out all night, doesn't see women calling my phone all hours of the day and things like that. The walk that he sees me is the same walk that I preach and teach to all the children. Love Christ, be the best you, and be the best you walking in the gifts that Christ gave you, and to be more Christ-like. Understand that you're going to have flaws, understand that you're going to fall, understand that things ain't going to go perfect, things are not going to be your way, but you got to have your own relationship with Christ. I'm not going to beat you up about what you do. That's something that I did not do or would not do. I'm going to teach you, and then you're going to have to take that lesson and apply it to yourself.
Right, that's what I'm talking about, man. See, whoo, brother, I wish I would have had all that back then.
Me too, brother. Me too.
I remember one time when I was doing one of our meetings, I just broke down and cried up there, and I was letting them know. I said, I'm crying because all these years that I've been going to church with grandparents, aunts, uncles, mom, dad, whoever, I said, nobody has really taught me about how much God loves me and to love God and build that relationship. Don't just teach me about scriptures and how scriptures work and how the stories go, but truly teach me that God loves you, believe in that, have faith and hope in that, and you love him that same way. So you can build that love relationship that will help you in the rest of your relationships, whether it's girlfriends, boyfriends, all up until you decide to get married. Walking that love walk would have had me making totally different decisions through my whole life. So when I was talking to them and that thought just started running through my mind, man, I couldn't help but to start crying, because I was saying, how much better or different would my life have been if I would have been making godly decisions the whole time? You see what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
So I'm glad that you're teaching your kids, like you said, you can make mistakes. It's gonna be all right. Because see, back in the day, it was fire and brimstone. It was big. If you made a mistake, you were going to hell. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So what you're teaching your kids, man, that's the way it needs to be taught, so they don't grow up under the pressure that we had. That it's like you can't do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so I commend you on learning the word and teaching your kids and everything the right way. So now let's get into this, since we was kind of talking about it yesterday, and you and Miss Tracy and Fred have put this together. Let me pull it up. Talk about this one more time. There we go. Let's see what we got there. Yeah, here we come. Because y'all brought it up yesterday. So tell me a little bit more about that.
So me, Tracy, and Fred, we are going to put on a headshot workshop, basically, per se, where people, men and women of all walks of life, who have gray hair, silver hair, who can come and get some headshots, right? But the bigger picture of it is not just about getting headshots, right? In this industry that we in, you have a lot of men and women models, especially of color, men and women of color, who, when they want to be cast for particular roles, they get denied because of silver or gray hair. And they'll only be picked for roles that show depression, death, maybe some kind of medical thing, or like you're on your way out, right? So we want to capture the beauty of silver and gray hair, the livelihood, the liveness of it. You can be alive, you can be healthy, you can be active, you can be beautiful, you can be gorgeous, you can be all these things and still have silver and gray hair. It's not a sign of death. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of old age, right? It's just another color of hair that you are given, in your life's journey. You know, you may not have it when you're 10 or 15, but you ain't lived long enough yet either, right? So as you mature, you know, for some people these things happen. This wisdom comes along, right? So we want to capture that, right? The other half of that is a lot of people who experience gray hair also experience depression, being talked about, being bullied, being belittled. And we want to capture them in a way and encourage them. Say, listen, look at you. You're beautiful. You know, beautiful with all your gray hair, beautiful with all your silver hair, beautiful with your gray or your silver goatee. So there's beauty in that because there's beauty in the person. So it's not about your hair, because if we cut all your hair off, you would still be a beautiful person, right? So if we leave your hair on, you're still that same person and you're still beautiful, and we want to encourage them with that.
Great, great. So now where is all this taking place? What's the cost? Give me the whole breakdown of everything. Let's do it this way. Just break it down, like soon as they jump on, sign up, where do they sign up? And then how does the whole process go all the way up into taking the picture?
Okay, so the sign up is going to be $50. You get 2 photographic digital images included with the $50. You can sign up via Zelle by using the email Carlos, C-A-R-L-O-S, Vincent, V-I-N-C-E-N-T, booking, BOOKING.com at Gmail, I should say, excuse me, not .com, at Gmail. So Carlos Vincent booking at Gmail. You can sign up from now up until the day of, right? That morning by 10 o'clock a.m. That's going to be the cutoff time. You'll be able to come to the studio. My studio that you see in the background here is located at 940 North Beltline Road, Suite 111, Irving, Texas, 75061. You can contact me via that email. You can also contact Sister Byerly or Brother Byerly as well. If you know them directly or personally, you can contact them. They'll be able to also share that information. But to make your payment, to secure your payment, just use the Zelle that I just shared. Once again, the email is carlosvincentbooking@gmail.com. And you can put in there 4 headshots, right? And you come that day, and we're going to set up, and we'll be here. We'll be waiting. We'll capture. If you decide that you want additional images, you know, you will be able to purchase additional images. Tracy and Fred will be here. They'll be able to talk to you. You'll be able to meet them if you've never met them. This is open to all people from all walks of life, you know, who just need that encouragement because they have that silver, that gray hair. So it's really going to be an event. You know, it's not going to be just about taking pictures. That's just part of it, right? Come and be encouraged. Come and be uplifted, and come and meet some great people in the peoplehood of Tracy and Frederick Byerly. You know, meet me, you know. So we're going to have a good time.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. It sounds like fun already. So
yeah,
almost. And what date is that again?
That is going to be the 30th.
The 30th?
I believe it's the 30th.
Is that a
January?
Saturday? Is that a Saturday? Oh,
Saturday.
The 30th
Yep.
February. Oh, okay. Well, you got a good while there. You still got to for some change then to get it all together. So yeah.
No, it's January.
Oh, January?
It's January.
Okay, January. Okay.
Yeah, 30th of January.
All right,
Yeah.
30th of January. Let me look at my little 30th is on a Saturday. Okay, so it is on a Saturday. It's right there at the studio. So y'all make sure y'all get everything together. Go check it out. Get that picture taken. And like he said, you know, he says 2. See, people get confused. Even though he says it's $50 and you get 2 headshots. Like you said, you got to remember, you just don't go there and he says, all right, ready, picture 1.
Right.
All right, get up. That's not how it works. You have to take several pictures so you can get the right one. Then he's going to put the best 2 out of those to get you. And if you like some of the others, then you can purchase those others. So that's how that works. Don't think you're going to go down there and he's going to like picture 1, take picture 2, get up, wait for him to come down. So some people to get confused.
It happens like that.
You know, so it's not going to be like that. And like you said, Frederick and Tracy are going to be there with their calming quiet voice, as I told him yesterday. When I talk to them, I'm about to tell something on myself. Let me be quiet. But so just go down there and talk to them, get with them, and like I said, meet Brother Carlos and everything. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about sneaking down there now. You know, I might sneak up in there, see what's happening up there. So
come on.
Yeah, so you know, and I just might. You never know, brother. You never know. I just might do that. So you know, but and then I want you to go ahead, since you know you did tell them where you were going to be and everything and what's happening. So I want to bring this up again. I want to bring this part up right here because this is you all the way right there. So tell me about all that right there. Tell me about this.
So all the people do that. So I have to editorial assessment process after this. I started to do a lot of stuff, do a lot of editorial. And this is not the Olin Mills or the Jason Kennedy photography that you see in those places. This is a different level of photography. Myself and a lot of other photographers and creators of color that reside in Dallas put a lot of time and a lot of work into our effort into our craft to be respected, right? So what I do is, you know, I don't do a lot of family shoots. I don't do a lot of family images. I can, if it's not something I promote. You know, if you have a business, you have a brand,
I would be the photographer you'd want to call.
Brother. There you go. Hey, Carlos, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so yes, okay, you got to say that all over. Something happened and your sound on your end got muffled, and the people said that they couldn't hear you. So, so let's start all over. This is Carlos and Love Sessions, take 2. Let's bring the picture back up. Go for it.
All right. Round 2. So I'm an editorial photographer. I do a lot of editorial, a lot of fashion, a lot of beauty, and headshots as well. The models, actors, and corporate executives. I'm the photographer that you want to seek out if you have a business, if you want to do some branding, whether it was a product. So that's what I do. You know, I shoot a lot of models. If you have a son or a daughter who's interested in modeling, we will be opening a modeling academy. I do model training, do workshops. So that's what I do, and that's where my passion is. These are not the J.C. Penney's or the Olin Mills photos. You won't get that with me. You know, this is a whole another level of type of photography. Myself and other photographers and creators of color, and we put a lot of time, a lot of effort into mastering our skills. So we try to give you something different. Our style is a little different. Some of the other photographers here in the city, of course, everybody has their own style. I have mine, they have theirs. You can always see my work on my website at www.carlosimagery.com. You can see the studio at ctsstudiodfw.com. So check us out.
He's freezing up down there. It must be cold in the studio. So we'll wait for him to pop back on. But like I said, you know, you guys, if you need, you're back with me?
Yeah, I'm here. Man.
Yeah, you froze up for a little bit there. But so now check this out, because you know I've been doing entertainment since the 80s and stuff. And I've been through different people doing headshots and everything. So now these days, when you take the headshots, you know, like back in the day when we used to take headshots and you had the name and the phone number and the name of the agency on there. And then for like actors and stuff like that, you know, they have their little information on there. And then some they have different pictures of showing them in different, you know, different ways. And then some you have the one with just a picture on the front and all the information and then like the little biography on the back. So do you do all that type of stuff too, or you just strictly pictures?
No, I do a lot of that as well. Those are called comp cards. We do a little different. For models, we do more of digitals. Those comp cards from back in the 80s and the 90s, where it might have been from different types of photo shoots that you did to show different types of work that you can do. Now, more often with the models, you know, we want a digital where, you know, you got a black top, a black bottom on, and light to no makeup at all. So we as casting directors or whatever, we could see everything about you so we can paint our own canvas. So it's a raw. So yes, we do digitals. I do the comp cards. We do all that in-house.
Okay. So what about people that want to like gospel singers or singers, period? What if they want a comp card? What would be the difference between the model? Well, let me put it this way. What would be the difference between the model, the artist, and also a comedian? Would each three of those be totally different?
Yeah, because you got three different people. You know, models are models, comedians are comedians, and artists are artists. So if I have a comedian come in, we're going to look at capturing their character. You know, they're not going to have an executive CEO type headshot. You know, we're not going to have no goofy faces, but, you know, we want to have something that portrays their image. So when they send that out for their promo and their marketing, it's going to be something that draws the people to them, right? And with the artist, you know, they may have a keyboard in it. They may have a guitar, whatever instrument, or a microphone, or it may just be them. You know, we're going to capture it in an artistic vibe. You know, my job is to capture them as they are. You know, if you're not a model, I'm not going to capture you as a model. I'm going to capture you as you are and make you look good.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I had to put that out there just in case there was some people out there was like, well, hey, man, I'm a comedian. I'm an artist. I'm a gospel rapper. You know, I might want to have some stuff in the back. What's going on? Oh, speaking of back, now, do you do any type of green screen stuff or add background to different pictures and stuff too?
No, sir. I'm not a green screen photographer. Mostly high fashion type stuff. I don't really do the green screen stuff. Graphic arts, that's not something we do here.
All right. Well, that's cool. That's cool. That's what they need to know, because they come popping up there and say, man, listen here. I want to picture the hood behind me because, you know, that's where I came from. So I'm rapping about my experience. You be like, all right, wrong place, bro. I'm sorry.
What I would tell them is, well, let's go to the hood. We're going to stand you in the hood, and I'm going to capture me in your hood, you know, with the hood in your background. And we'll be good. There you go.
There you go. You got them covered. See that? That's what I'm talking about. So, hey, you like Wanda. When they come to your shop, whatever they want, you ain't got to go nowhere. I got you. I got you.
You got it all right here. Yeah, I have a team of makeup artists, have a team of wardrobe stylists that put together to help make this ship float, man. So a lot of credit goes out to them, you know, and making our clients look good and feel good. You know, you can book me just for photography and bring your own, or you can get the full encounter and the experience of me and my team, and we'll blow your mind. We'll blow your mind.
Great. I'm glad we got all that in there, because some people be like, well, he didn't say that he could do this or he could do that and he can do this, or he can't do this, but he can't do that. But yeah, so you got them covered. Like I said, talking to you today, finding out everything you do. So if you need good photography, whether it's your headshots, whether you're the CEO, the president, the COO, whatever it is, if you're the gospel artist or a artist, period, and you want those type of shots or comp cards, as they call them, if you're a comedian, even if you I just thought about something, even if, you know, because some people that are trying to do sports, they like stuff taken in, you know, whether it's a basketball player, baseball player, football player, they like those type of pictures taken too. So
right,
you got everybody covered. You are that's why I called you photographer extraordinaire, because you got everybody covered no matter what they want to do. You got right. It. That's what I'm talking about. What's the slogan for your photography?
I am not the norm.
Okay, there you go. You're right. You're not the norm. He's not the norm, y'all. He is Mr. Carlos Vincent, photographer extraordinaire. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. One more time before I let you go, give them all the social media platforms that they can get a hold of you.
All right, you can contact me directly via Instagram at the Carlos Vincent. We also have at Carlos Vincent Imagery. You can book the studio at BTS Studio DFW. You can also catch me on my website, www.carlosvincentimagery.com, as well as the studio at btsstudiodfw.com.
All right. And just in case they need a phone number to call, who can they call?
You can call me at 469-834-4933.
One more time.
469-834-4933.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is all the ways you can get a hold of the photographer extraordinaire, Mr. Carlos Vincent. So we're going to send him out with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Put your hands together. Photographer extraordinaire, Mr. Carlos Vincent, man. You know something? I'm going to go ahead and commit to being there on Saturday. So I was on the 30th.
Sounds good, man. Be glad to have you.
All right, brother. You take care, man. You have a great day. Stay safe and practice that social distance.
Absolutely.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brother Carlos Vincent, all the way from Topeka, Kansas, doing his thing now in the DFW area. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out on January 30th. If you couldn't write down everything and all that kind of good stuff, but guess what? All you got to do is just wait to this end, jump right back on Facebook and go through there to the end where he starts giving out the information and you can get it all over again. All right. So make sure, again, you guys, you comment, you like, you share these videos on Facebook. Do the same thing on YouTube, but the best thing to do on YouTube is subscribe, put it on public so I can see you. Like I said, between now and Monday on my, as they say in Germany, on my Geburtstag, I will be turning 60. So I'm going to get this, not $50. So since I'm turning 60, I'm going to give somebody $60. So you need to go to YouTube to, right after this is over with, start subscribing to the YouTube channel. It is Love Sync Ministries, just like back here behind my head. Love Sync is one word, and Ministries. Go to the channel, subscribe, bid it on public. Let me see your name. And on Facebook, don't go to Love Sync Ministries on Facebook. Somebody told me to do that page. I messed all up. I'm sorry. But just on Facebook, just go to Love Sync with a space between love and sync. All right. So until tomorrow, or not till tomorrow, but until the next time, you guys do what I say do. What did I say do? What God says do, and that's to continuously walk in love each and every day on a constant and consistent basis, because you never know who you're going to run into, and you're the only love that they've ever witnessed. So always continuously walk in love. Until next time, Brother Darryl McGriff, Love Sync Ministry.